What is boba tea? Boba tea goes by many names: milk tea, bubble tea, tapioca tea, all of which refer to different aspects of the drink. In this video, we're going to explain what boba tea is, where it originated, and how to make it. Before we get started, it would really mean a lot to us if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for future tea videos. We have hundreds of videos on all sorts of different topics related to tea, but for this episode, we're going to focus on boba tea specifically. Without further ado, let's get started. Boba tea is thought to be invented in the late 1980s. A tea shop owner was introduced to cold coffee during a trip to Japan, and he wanted to try the same thing with tea. He started by serving his customers cold Chinese black tea. He would serve the tea with various types of fruit and syrups as sweeteners. Then he began to shake the tea over ice, which would create bubbles on top. During a company meeting, a colleague brought in a sweetened tapioca dessert, and that was just the spark they needed to come up with the idea for boba tea, made by mixing sweetened milk tea with tapioca pearls. Tapioca is made from the flour extracted from the cassava root. This root, also known as yucca, is native to South America, and it's used as a staple in many dishes. The starch is white when dry but turns translucent when cooked. You can see this in things like tapioca pudding as well as boba tea. In the case of boba tea, the tapioca pearls are boiled in brown sugar water. The pearls don't necessarily contribute much to the sweetness of the drink, but they do add a nice chewiness to the drink. The most popular type of boba tea you are likely familiar with is made with black tea, but you can also make it using hojicha, a type of Japanese roasted green tea, or matcha, a special type of powdered green tea from Japan. Because matcha is one of our specialties here at Neo Teas, we're going to show you how to make matcha boba tea. For this, we're going to be using our latte grade matcha. For those of you who don't know, when you're mixing matcha with things like milk and sugar, you want to use the latte grade matcha. This tea is made from later harvest, so it's less expensive, but it also has a more powerful flavor to it. If you go for premium ceremonial grade matcha, you're going to get a much smoother flavor, but you don't necessarily want that when you're mixing it with milk and sugar. Our latte grade matcha comes from Mr. Masuda in Shizuoka, and it's made without the use of pesticides or chemicals. After trying many different types of teas, we have found that this one works the best for lattes, and we're proud to share it with everyone around the world. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into our recipe. First, bring 4 cups of water to a boil. Once the water has come to a boil, you can add 1/2 cup of tapioca pearls. After the boba pearls float to the surface, you can let them cook for 30 to 40 minutes, stirring them occasionally. Once they begin to turn translucent around the edges, take the heat off and let them sit for another 15 to 20 minutes until they are almost totally translucent. Use a slotted spoon to pull out the tapioca pearls and transfer them into a bowl with cold water. In a clean pan, bring 1 cup of water to a boil and add in 1/3 cup of brown sugar. You can bring this to a boil until the mixture begins to reduce into a syrup. Now you can transfer the boba pearls into the syrup and bring it back up to a boil. After 2 to 3 minutes, they should be ready and you can just transfer them into a glass jar. To make the matcha itself, take 1 teaspoon of the latte grade matcha and mix it in with 3 tablespoons of cold water to create a paste. Once you have a smooth paste with no clumps, you can pour in 1 cup of cold oat milk. You can use a milk frother to whisk it up, or you can use a bamboo matcha whisk or chasen. This is the best tool when it comes to whisking up bowls of matcha tea, and it's been used in the Japanese tea ceremony for hundreds of years. After your matcha latte has been made, you can now serve it over ice and add 2 to 4 tablespoons of boba pearls with the syrup as a sweetener. Stir up the drink and enjoy your matcha boba tea. Of course, boba tea isn't the only thing you can use matcha powder for. You can also use it in regular matcha lattes, matcha desserts, and even matcha mixed drinks. If you'd like to try our latte grade matcha and experiment with some of these recipes on your own, you can find it on our website, neoteas.com. When you order tea from us, you're not only helping to support this channel, but you're also helping us to support small farmers all around Japan so that they can continue to produce exceptional teas without the use of pesticides or chemicals. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions about matcha, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Until then, we'll see you next time.